Keep in mind, this is not another horror-themed fictional story. This is a true crime that happened within my own family and involves multiple relatives of mine.
In mid-August of 1985, a heinous plot would unfold in Oregon, leaving one man dead and causing 20 years of unanswered questions and investigation. This is the story of the murder of my great-uncle, Delbert Westfall. Viewer discretion advised.
On the night of August 12, 1985, four men drove to a house in Hermiston, Oregon and parked about a half-mile away. Two of the men got out of the car while the other two stayed. One of the men who left the car carried a knife as the two made their way to the front door of the house and knocked. Delbert answered the door and was promptly asked his name, to which he responded with his first and last name. After giving his name, he began to ask who these two men were when suddenly they launched a full-on assault. Being helpless against the two men, Delbert was quickly overpowered and pinned to the floor with one arm behind his back. At which point, everything went black. On August 13, 1985, Delbert Westfall's body was found in his mobile home on Pumpkin Center Road in Hermiston, Oregon, with a wound to the back of the head. An ambulance run was reported at 8:22 a.m. Delbert was pronounced dead on arrival. His family had a graveside service on August 19, 1985, at Desert Lawn Memorial Cemetery in Oregon, Oregon. After the funeral, Delbert's case would go cold and unsolved for 20 years until November of 2005, when things began to fall into place for Detective Mike Wilson of the Hermiston State Police, who had been working the case for some time. An item found at the scene of the crime would be used in DNA identification that led to the first arrests in the case. On November 3, 2005, brothers Vincent DeQuazy and Sean Scarlett were arrested at their home in connection to the death of Delbert Westfall. At the time, Detective Wilson said he believed the suspects were ready to be caught, stating, "These guys have been carrying this around for 20 years. I think they were ready to be caught. They had to know police would eventually come knocking on their door." But arresting the two brothers was just the beginning. In words that have proven to be all too true, Detective Wilson said, "The saga is not over yet." The brothers were arraigned on November 13, 2005, 20 years and 3 months after Westfall's death, charged with aggravated murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and conspiracy to commit aggravated murder. But the conspiracy charges were later dropped. On December 21, 2005, the brothers' attorney said there were 3 additional suspects who are not here and have not been arrested. Those 3 suspects were not revealed until testimony from the brothers was heard in their conference in 2005. The list of suspects was shocking to say the least. Stay tuned for Part 3.